Hello and welcome to the Vegains and Vagitarians podcast.
You have such a radio voice.
We are your hosts, Lucy Taylor,
Toria Barkby. Together we make a pair of coaches, hoping to entertain you for the next God knows how long with our wit and whimsy. So, I suppose you're wondering why the title. The short answer for you is why not? I suppose it kind of sums up the vast majority of our conversations with one another, and it fits quite well. And well, the title originally, I wouldn't say it came to you in a dream because it wasn't an original title, was it?
It wasn't. So I actually woke up one morning, as I do sometimes, with a random thought or random word or phrase in my head, and it was just 2 Dykes, 1 mic. And the first thing I thought was that would be such an amazing name for a podcast. And I googled it, and lo and behold, there is already a podcast out there called 2 Dykes and a Mic. So I was truly gutted about that. I mean, it's not quite the same, but it's like one word or one letter out. So yeah,
Close, but so far away.
close, but no cigar. So yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember how we came to the name Vegains and Vagitarians.
I've been trying to think about it since we spoke about it earlier, and it, for whatever we were doing, it came quite natural. Like, it wasn't something we sat and thought on for
I
ages.
think
It
we
just
were
kind of.
talking about it in the kitchen while we were making breakfast, but I don't remember when the idea even came to us to start a podcast.
It definitely was in the kitchen because I remember we turned around and went, "Oh,
Let's
we
start
should make that as a podcast." But I can't
Yeah.
remember how it came about. We were joking about something,
Yeah.
and then midway through the joke, we thought, actually, we might be onto something here.
Yeah. I'm like, how did we even decide that we were going to do a podcast? But, do you know, I sat down at the end of last year. I was doing some end of year reflections, deciding what I wanted to achieve in 2025. And one of the things that I wrote down was that I wanted to feature on a podcast. At the time, I didn't even consider starting a podcast because I was like, what would I even talk about? Like, would I be able to provide any value? Like, would people want to listen to that? Like, I will chat a power of shite on my Instagram stories. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people and building connections. But I'd never thought to sit down and do a podcast where I just talk to myself because I like to be able to bounce ideas off of someone.
Then
Then
your girlfriend got involved.
then I met my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah.
And now
Here we are.
we are starting this podcast.
Podcasting. I suppose for obviously our listeners, obviously the topics we've picked, obviously being vegans and vegetarians, it's kind of an umbrella term for the stuff that we would probably look to cover, because we are both coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Myself tends to be more face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy is based online. But we have probably a combined experience of, I don't know how many years if we add them all up together, both of kind of different sporting and fitness endeavours, and it's probably our great passion in life. And we find ourselves a lot of time when we speak having the same conversations with our respective clients in a day, and then obviously the same conversations with each other in a day. And we thought, well, why don't we just record some of it?
Yeah.
And educate the people?
Do you know what that's called? It's called the parallel process.
Oh.
When like you and your clients are going through like similar things at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
or you're both going through like the same experience, like thing, and experiencing it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it really interesting seeing how these parallel processes play out in life. And I also find that it shows up a lot in our relationship as well, because we have many times ended up unintentionally coaching each other.
Would you just coach me?
I think it's like a really amazing thing about like both kind of working within the same industry and doing the job that we do. But I think that sometimes we do also have to be quite careful, and to like actually like check in with the other person and make sure like that's what that person wants or needs at that time.
There's been a few instances where it's like, I need my girlfriend, not my coach.
Yeah. I'm like, Toria, I do have a coach for that, you know.
Yeah.
Or I do have a therapist. I'll talk to them about this thing. But
It's like, I just need a cuddle from you right now. That's it. Don't talk to me, just hold me.
But yeah, I think that with the sort of combined knowledge and experience that we have, it just makes sense to like sit down and record ourselves chatting about these things and hopefully help people that are going through similar, like give a little bit of insight into our lives as well and the things that we maybe like find challenging, because I think a lot of the time people think as well, like because we are in the fitness realm and like we have already achieved things that a lot of our clients want to achieve, like people kind of have that misconception that we are like these complete
With the final
we're the
product.
final product.
No one's the final product.
There's no such thing as the final product.
And I think the other thing is like your coaches are people too, and we mess up and we eat entire pizzas, or like we have days where we miss our sessions, or we have days where we've not slept right, or have sustained an injury, or like something else is going on at work, or like someone's not feeling well. Like we're all human beings first, and I think by starting our little podcast adventure, that'll probably illustrate that.
Yeah, it gives people a little bit more of an insight into who we are, what we do, the things that we also struggle with, how we deal with those things too, because I think that sometimes it's quite difficult to have those conversations with a client because like you don't want to make things all about you and be like, oh yeah, I've actually dealt with this.
I did that and I overcame it.
Yeah, because sometimes people just need to be validated. They don't want to hear like, this is what I did. And this is where there's a difference between like coaching, mentoring, and educating, and you have to know like which one's appropriate at any given time.
Like you wear different hats as a coach. Like sometimes it's not about putting your bit in. Sometimes it's about letting the other person just talk it out, or work through it. Sometimes it is about kind of going, no, we're going to get you through this, and you're going to actually take steps today. And other times it's about, right, today's not a stepping day, today's just a listening day.
Yeah.
So I suppose based on that, like the things we're kind of looking to talk about, again, we kind of touched on it, obviously our experiences in health and fitness, but obviously as members of the LGBTQ plus community, I wouldn't describe myself as a baby gay. I would say I'm established. Lucy's a baby gay.
I'm a baby gay.
But then
I'm a little baby.
I'm just a baby. Whereas I am what do we call it? A pre-vegan.
So Toria is pre-vegan. So Toria does still eat meat at the moment. She does still consume animal products.
We dabble.
Since we started seeing each other, she has cut down on her meat consumption.
I've made some swaps, and they're not exactly like you hear people and they go, I couldn't cut it X, Y, or Z, but like, see, to be quite honest, see if it's cooked well. Like, I mean, I walked about at work all week craving, I call them protein chunks, soya pieces.
Protein chunks.
Protein chunks. Chunks of gains.
Chunks of gay.
Chunks of gay. That too. It just made sense. It made sense.
In the gay and gains.
But like, I've found, it was something like years ago, obviously long before we met each other, in the concept of veganism. I thought, oh, that seems like something that's really hard work. And like, how would you know how? No one, you obviously encounter quite a lot. How do you even get your protein in? And I'm like, it's just easier to eat the chicken. But I think that's where, and I suppose we'll touch on it in like other podcasts that we've kind of got planned, where we kind of drill deep into things. But for me, when I was younger, it came from, we've had this discussion before, like a place of pure ignorance. It wasn't that I didn't know or couldn't possibly know that information is out there, and see if you genuinely just spend 30 seconds and read. I find it ironic because I say this to all my clients all the time. I'm like, read the packaging on the food. It's just the same for vegan food. Like, turn the packet over and read it.
Exactly. It's just those extra steps. People just don't want to take them.
People avoid the plant-based style, and I'm like, go, like, I'll actively, like, even if, like, obviously if we're not, like, the Thursday we're not seeing each other, or like if I'm in a supermarket, I will wander through the plant-based stuff, and maybe if we've not necessarily cooked it together or whatever, but I'll have a look at it all,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll give things a go, because like a lot of people argue the taste factor. I'm like, I don't think there's a leg to stand on there. Like, that's not veganism, that's your cooking skills.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that people go on about flavour, but it's like if you were just to cook raw meat without flavourings, it wouldn't taste the way that you know
It's
and
the
love your meat to
flavouring.
taste.
It's the flavouring, and that's something that I really enjoy doing when we're together. Is we cook a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously our lifestyles, our nutrition's quite important. Our
Mm-hmm.
jobs, our nutrition's quite important. Um, and obviously through seeing each other, I do remember, like, from very early on seeing each other. I remember one of our first dates, we went to a vegan restaurant anyway, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
my rationale for that being, well, I can eat anything. But at the time, I'm like, yeah, you can eat anything, but should you be eating everything?
I'm not gonna lie, like that was literally one of the most attractive things to me when you sent me that text and you were like, I think it was after our first date,
Mhm.
and you were like, I want to take you out for a meal, and you're like, let's go to a vegan restaurant.
Mhm.
You're like, I just want to make sure that we go somewhere that like you can have whatever you want.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's such a nice gesture. Like that was so meaningful
Because the
to me.
thing that always struck me from going out to eat is, obviously I was aware of, like, vegan and vegetarian options being on menus, but it was always like they're always down the bottom of a menu. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at a menu, they're always the last thing on the list. Which to me, when I read the menus, means it's like the last thing that was thought about is, oh, sugar, we better put a vegetarian option, we better put a vegan.
Yeah.
Whereas I thought, like, I knew when we went on our second date, I thought I wanted it to be an experience you genuinely enjoyed, not got like the only thing the restaurant had. So I thought the easiest and fairest thing was to go to a vegan restaurant,
Yeah.
because I would be able to pick anything off the menu and gobble it up. But I
Yeah.
wanted you to have that same experience as well. Like, we were both there together. We're both still getting to know each other. We'd both be nervous, and I didn't want you to go, well, I can only have this one thing, and I've got the whole menu to choose from.
Do you know that's wild as well? Because I remember, I think it was maybe like my graduation dinner or like my birthday dinner or something one year, and I was like, oh, I really want to go to this vegan restaurant, and like my family were like, no, like we don't want to go. And like the dinner was for me, and they were like, no, we don't want to go there because we're gonna have to eat vegan food, and I was like, all food is vegan food. Like, what do
It's
you
just
mean?
food.
And like, what do you mean you can't give up meat for one meal?
Like, one dinner of your
Like,
life.
I love my family, I really do. Like, this is no shade to them, but I'm like, come on. But like every restaurant that I go to, I have to pick from like 2 or 3 limited vegan
Mhm.
options. But it's wild. It's wild the way that like society are conditioned to not even think about these things.
But it dawned on me that when I was thinking about things to do for a second date, that's when the penny dropped for me. I'm like, the vegan option is always the last thing on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
When you go anywhere, they're always on the back page or the bottom.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking for our second date, I thought I want it to be a nice experience for both of us. Like, I don't want to sit back and have my feet up going, well, I'm enjoying my dinner and you
Yeah.
had to pick for two things that neither of which you particularly fancied.
I fancied you though.
Well, there was that option on the menu.
Anyway, speaking of dates, I
Mhm.
suppose we should address how we met because I feel like that's that's kind of, well, it's not important. I mean, well, people
I
probably want to
suppose you're
know.
all wondering.
I suppose.
It was very romantic.
Here we go.
Our eyes locked across Hinge,
Oh,
as all the kids do these days on the apps.
on the apps.
On the apps, if I remember rightly, it was the beginning of a week.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was probably a Monday. I was about to leave work, having been there all day, as one does
I
when they
think it
go to
was a Monday because I'm pretty sure I installed Hinge on the Sunday. I had the Sunday scaries and I was like, let's see what's happening on Hinge.
I got in there quick. I got in there quick. I was about to leave work and I thought, let's have a wee scroll through before we go home, as one does in the staff room. And I came across your profile, fancied you instantly, And we've had this conversation before about those voice prompts. So I would openly admit anyone on Hinge that's ever recorded a voice prompt, I have not listened to it. I have scrolled by it. There was just something about it that
Is it like the cringe factor?
I don't know whether it was cringe or whether I thought like it was almost if like they like those people wouldn't have heard my voice, but I'm listening to theirs. If that makes sense.
Right.
I'm not sure. It wasn't something. I don't know whether it was that or just like pure disinterest. If that makes sense. There was nothing about those. No disrespect to anyone on Hinge. Keep trying
until you found me.
So you'll find your person. But there was something about your profile and that your voice prompt was at the top of your profile, or it was near the top. Not to mention all the gym pictures, which were immediate. I was like, she trains. But I clicked on it and I'm like, I really like the sound of Lucy, and I hit the wee like button, hopped in the car and drove home, and it was in the back of my head. I thought, oh, she's never going to like me back, but I hope she does. And then I got home and lo and behold, there was a wee notification from Lucy. And I tried to play it cool, and I think I said something dumb that you were like jacked or something.
You did. You went straight in with a compliment, and I was like, okay.
Yep, straight in there.
Okay, I can get behind this. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think how things unfolded from my end. I remember the like from you coming through, and I haven't really like labeled or like defined my sexuality like over the years, but like this year was like the year that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like, I've been interested in women in the past. Like I've had like a couple of like I kissed girls when I was younger and stuff, but it was something I never really explored that much, and I think there was a lot of like internalized homophobia for me. I only really like exclusively dated or like got involved with men, and then like there was just something at the beginning of this year where I was like, I'm ready to just unpack that side of me. I'm ready to stop suppressing that part of me. But like, yeah, I remember Victoria's profile coming up on my Hinge, and I was just like, oh, she's hot, she trains. Although I remember your prompt about the sparkling water though, and I was just like, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree there.
Yep. I mean, you've tried it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Your face said it all. We didn't even need to speak.
I don't know. It just reminds me of like Cocodamol and sparkling water taste very similar to me.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah. Sparkling water is not
fresh
the one.
Cocodamol.
Not the one for me. But yeah, we got chatting. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking terrified. I did have a moment where I was like, like, do I like you back, or do I just decide not to go there and like pretend it never happened? But I was like, you know what, we're gonna lean into this. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, if we don't hit it off, or if I realise that actually I'm not feeling it, then we don't have to go on a date. Like, we don't have to take it any further than just a couple of messages. But that was not the way things happened. We hit it off instantly.
Yeah.
I think within a couple of messages, I was already sending her voice notes. Yep. And the rest was history.
I don't think we've ever stopped chatting since.
We've not. We've spoken every single day since the end of January. Yep. Yeah, we've moved quickly, but like.
But then all gays do. So it's
yeah, we've got the whole like, you know, lesbians move fast stereotype in there. We've got the neurodivergent info dumping. It was it was always gonna move quickly.
The complete package.
Yep. But things are good.
I'm happy. And then we're taking our little adventure in a podcast direction.
We are. So in terms of what you can expect from, I guess, our future episodes, as Toria was saying earlier, you know, we're very much into like self-development, self-improvement, coaching. I think we'll probably be talking a lot about our experiences as coaches, probably debunking like fitness myths, especially when it comes to things like plant-based nutrition. As I kind of mentioned there as well about neurodivergence as well. So I'm not officially diagnosed, but like I'm currently on the waiting list for assessments for both ADHD and autism. And like I, in my own sort of coaching practices, but also when I'm trying to kind of work towards my own health and fitness goals, I've been exploring a lot around how my neurodivergence impacts that side of things. So I think it'll be really interesting to kind of delve into that a little bit more as we record future episodes.
Yes. I myself am not diagnosed other than by the Clinic of Mum as OCD. I mean, I say that we love her, but not a clinical psychologist in any way, but I do certainly tick a lot of OCD boxes, like a lot of things check. But we've kind of spoken about that before, how there's quite a lot of overlap between quite a lot of our characteristics, which is, I suppose, is how we click so well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially when it comes to the way that we just like bounce off of each other when it comes to conversation, like I think the way that we kind of like think about things, like our brains don't really work in like a linear fashion. Like everything just kind of jumps about.
It's like everyone is here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, but it makes us really effective communicators. I think, and like I think that's another thing that it'll be really interesting to sort of delve into a little bit more. It's just about our relationships, like our relationship dynamics, how we communicate with each other, like, and how that impacts our relationship in a really positive way. And yeah, I think
I'm excited to record more of our chats. I suppose we'll deep dive. We've got a couple of topics in mind, but obviously, hopefully, if I've got a couple of listeners in, any topics that like you would like to hear from us, feel free to like give us a bell. We're obviously looking to we're catching all our favourite topics, like we were saying. So we're going down the fitness, the gay route, the veganism route,
putting the gay in gains.
So we've got a couple of ideas of things in the future to chat about. A lot of adventures in the pipe to document as well, which should be quite fun.
Yeah.
A lot of cooking to try as well. Stay tuned for those. Although Lucy is the superior pancake maker.
I'll happily take that title.
Yep, I tried my best between the wrong way and no baking powder. They were never gonna be as good as yours.
You have time to redeem yourself, yeah.
I'll practice really hard. I have been trying. It's easier to make the yogurt with the fruit because it's just in the bowl. I can't really mess that up.
Your pancakes will have their day.
Yep. One of these days I'm going to shock you. I'm going to shock you.
But yeah, if you have any suggestions on topics that you'd like us to explore, if you've got any questions for us, things that you think you would benefit from hearing or understanding a bit more about, then you can send us a message on Instagram. You can find me at tailormadetraining.pt.
And you can find me at VBThePT.
But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed tuning into this episode, and we should hopefully be back with another shortly. But yeah, thank you ever so much.
We will see you again soon. Tune in next time for more Vegains and Vagitarians.